Hey guys, this is part 12 of the Java game programming tutorial. In this one I am going to be creating a temporary power-up. So let's go into power-up. We're going to create a new power-up, type 4. This is going to be slow down time. So this is going to be an awesome power-up. Type is 4. We're going to set the color to white. Radius 3. Cool. Okay, so back into game panel, we want to actually put this into the game. Back in game update, where we check for the collected power-ups. Here. Player power-up, collision, collected power-up. We want to do add the type 4. So here, I'm not exactly sure where to put the slowdown system. I'm just gonna keep it in game panel because it's gonna get a little disorganized. So we need a couple of things: slowdown timer and slowdown timer diff and slowdown length. So let's have the slowdown power up on for 6 seconds. So back down here, actually before we go further, go here for the chance for power-ups to drop. We want this thing to actually have a chance of dropping. So 1 out of 100, I guess, 1% chance. So 1-3. This is probably not the best way to do the power-up chance thing, but so power up 4, and for testing purposes we want the power up 4 to be the default, so put the else and then add new power up 4. Back here in collected power up type 4, we want to set the slowdown timer to the current time. And right after that, at the end here, we're going to slow down update. We want to actually update the slowdown if slowdown timer does not equal 0, meaning we're in slowdown mode. Update the diff, which is just going to be the current time minus the start time divided by 1,000,000. And if the slowdown timer diff happens to be past the length of 6 seconds, then time's up, power up is gone. So slowdown timer is 0. Cool. So we want to actually have a graphical representation of this. In game render, we draw player lives, player power, player score. And now we're going to draw a slowdown meter. So here, first check that we're actually in slowdown mode. If slowdown timer is not equal to 0, then set the color to white. Draw a rectangle at position 2060, since 2040 is already being used for the bullets. 100 long, 8 high. So here we want to fill a rectangle. 2060 also, but this time it has to be a 100 minus the amount of time. I want it to get shorter as time goes on, basically. So we're definitely going to need slowdown timer diff somewhere in here, divided by slowdown length. I think 100 times this, but this is integer division, so that, I think that actually would work. Cool. So 8. Oh, and this is now a double, so I need to cast it to an int. Like that. Cool. So let's see if this actually works. Compile. Uh-oh. I forgot the comma here. 20 comma 60 comma. So run. Let's pick up one of these, and there is our slowdown meter, and it disappears. Awesome. So now we have to actually have this thing do something. Right now it's not actually slowing down any enemies. So let's go into enemy.java. Let's create a new boolean called slow, and we're going to have a setter for that. So anywhere public void set slow boolean b, and we're going to set slow to that b. So if we do set slow true, slow is true, set slow false, slow is false. Now in updates we want the enemy to move slower if we're in slow mode, so slow. Then we want to move at 30% of the speed, like that. Otherwise, just move regularly. So hopefully this would work. Let's see if the enemies actually slow down. And they don't, because I didn't set anything at all. Back here in game panel, collected power up. Once we have the collected power up, we have to go through all of the enemies. Oh, I'm already using I, so J, enemies.size, J++. So I have to do enemies.getJ.set slow true. There we go. But later we have to set it to false. Down here, when the slowdown timer is done, we're gonna have to set it to false. So let's take a look at that. Hopefully they slow down now. And they do slow down. Very awesome. I'm also going to add one more thing, just to make it look even more cool. Draw slowdown screen. Here I'm going to set the color to white and very transparent, 64, and I'm going to fill up the entire screen with that transparent white, so it looks awesome. Oops, I didn't even check if we're in slowdown mode. I have to do if slowdown timer does not equal 0. Then I draw the layer. So let's compile and run. Okay, the regular screen, once we get the power up and we get the white background. Awesome. That is cool. So I still have a lot of time in this video, so really quickly I want to make one more thing. So go back here. I want to create a new file called text.java. So here, text. Just quickly import. I'll just explain really quickly. Text is going to be like a small piece of text that appears on the screen whenever I want it to. So it's going to have just your basic X and Y position. Private. This should be long. It has a time. And string S. So the constructor, we also need a start time. Constructor public text, you need to give it 4 things actually. So X, Y, time, and string. So this dot x is x, this dot y is y, this dot time is time, and this dot s is s. Okay. And our 2 functions, update and draw. Let's move this down. Okay. Public void draw graphics 2D G. Okay, update is going to be pretty simple, but in the constructor we want to set the start time to the current time, so we know that it's already started. So here we're going to check how much time has elapsed since it started. So the current time minus the start time divided by 1,000,000, so I get it in milliseconds. And if that time is greater than the time specified, then we're going to make this like the bullet, power up, and explosion. We're going to return a boolean. So return true, we want to remove it. Return false, otherwise. Draw is simple. This is just going to be g.set font. We want to set font, again, Century Gothic, awesome font. Font plain and 12 size. So we want to set the color here, and now we want to actually draw the string. We want to draw the string S at position X and position Y. Cool. So now let's actually implement that. Well, let me just check first to see that this compiles. Okay, so all the way at the top, we're building up our list of array lists. Text, texts. We need a new array list for the texts. New array list, text, like that. Okay, so when do we want text? When we pick up a power, definitely. Where do we want that? Here. When we've collected a power up, like for example slowdown time, we want to do text.add new text, and we're gonna set it to the player player dot x and player dot get y. Right. What was the constructor? X, Y, time, and S. So 2 seconds, and the string slow down. Cool. Now we want to actually update this thing. So just like with everything, we have explosion update, power up update, and now we're gonna have text update. Go through I0, I is less than text size, I plus plus, and like the explosion and power up, we want to remove it. The update function returns a boolean, text.get high.update, and if remove, just remove it, text.remove I and I minus minus, just like that. And now in render, we have to actually draw this thing. So draw power up, explosion, and now draw text for I equals 0, I is less than text dot size, I plus plus, explode, not explosions, I'm looking at that one up there, dot get I dot draw G. So now every time we pick up a slowdown power up, it should pop up with a text that says slow down. Cool. We gotta add more texts somewhere. So here, when we pick up power-ups, the game video is actually, I'm running out of time. So let me just do this real quick. When we pick up an extra life text, and here, power, and double power or something. Cool. So that's gonna be it for now. And I'll see you in the next video, and I'll be doing more graphical stuff in the next video, so see you then.